Before the M1911, semi-automatic pistols had already become quite common in the USA, not to mention Europe, where Browning pistols were very popular. However, these were mostly guns, which operated on the principle of locking the barrel channel with a free bolt, and accordingly fired low-power cartridges. The U.S. Army at the beginning of the 20th century still used revolvers, which were significantly inferior to semi-automatic pistols in terms of rate of fire and accuracy. This was due to the conservatism of the U.S. military, which relied on the reliability of revolvers, which was much higher than that of semi-automatic pistols. The revolvers had the important advantages of constant readiness, safety, and ease of use, long service life, as well as low complexity and cost of production according to the already well-established technology. In addition, at that time, the most suitable for the armed forces pistols had caliber no more than 9 mm, and the U.S. Army had already gained combat experience in the Philippine Islands, where low-powered 9 mm revolvers proved to be extremely ineffective in rapid close combat with insurgents armed and perfectly proficient with cold weapons. The .38 caliber bullets were unable to stop the Moro warriors, who managed to kill or severely wound the invaders while already mortally wounded. A temporary solution was the Colt Model 1909 revolver, which used a .45 long Colt cartridge with a high stopping power and a double-action percussion trigger. Even the old .45 caliber revolvers with single-action triggers were supplied to the active army. But the U.S. Army wanted a modern semi-automatic pistol that was as reliable as revolvers, fast-firing, accurate, and using effective .45 caliber ammunition. The greatest gun designer, John Moses Browning, an American working in Belgium, started to develop such a pistol. In Europe, his name became a nickname for all semi-automatic pistols. Browning's name was also used for the Belgian FN pistols, as well as for pistols made by other factories in other countries, which were not related to Browning's creations. The first pistol of his design, manufactured in the USA at Colt factories, was the Model 1900, which used a recoil-operated short-stroke action and was locked by a receding barrel, hinged to the frame by 2 shackles. The Model 1900 was also known as the Colt Browning pistol. After many tests and improvements, the designer created the Model 1905 pistol, using the new .45 ACP pistol cartridge, and starting with the Model 1909, the Model 1905 pistol had only 1 shackle. However, the Model 1900, 1902, 1905, and 1909 pistols were not adopted and were sold on the civilian market. Browning's real success was the M1911 pistol, in which he eliminated all the shortcomings of the previous models and combined all his best design solutions. The .45 ACP 1143-23 cartridge was developed back in 1904 for the Colt Model 1905 by the Frankfurt Arsenal in collaboration with John Browning, Colonel John Thompson, and Union Metalique cartridge. The new jacketed bullet, created in 1911 to replace the lighter bullet, had a mass of 14.7 grams, energy of 505 joules, and a muzzle velocity of 262 meters per second. Such a bullet had a high stopping power. It had an optimal penetration depth of 30 to 35 centimeters into the body and ensured damage to vital organs, even after passing through an obstacle such as a hand or other light obstacle. At the same time, the bullet does not pass through and transfers most of its energy to the target. Thus, even without the use of expansive bullets, which are prohibited for use in military weapons by the Geneva Convention, the .45 ACP cartridge provides the high stopping power and excellent firing efficiency that was proven during the battles of WWI. The competition for a new semi-automatic pistol for the U.S. Army included Colt and Savage. Testing began on November 10, 1910. Both pistols fired .45 ACP cartridges. These were the most advanced designs of the time. The trials began with a detailed study of the pistols. Safety in the handling of the guns was especially emphasized. The pistols were disassembled and reassembled for a period of time. The Colt won on the incomplete disassembly time, but Savage won on the complete disassembly time. The Colt was made up of 64 individual parts, while Savage was made up of 45. Savage was inferior to Colt in accuracy. In penetration tests, Colt penetrated more pine boards, while Savage penetrated more oak boards. In rapid-fire accuracy tests, the Colt was more accurate and faster firing than the Savage. Both pistols were to be used to fire 6,000 rounds. The Colt proved to be significantly more reliable, 11 delays versus 33 delays. On March 15, 1911, the tests were resumed after both companies refined their guns. These retests also revealed the significant superiority of the Browning-designed pistol in reliability of function and durability. The committee concluded that the Colt was superior to the Savage in reliability, durability, ease of disassembly, and accuracy of fire. Consequently, the Colt weapon was recommended for further testing by the Army. On March 29, 1911, the Colt M1911 semi-automatic pistol, also known as the government model, was adopted by the U.S. Army after long and numerous tests. Since 1913, M1911s have been supplied to the U.S. Navy and U.S. Marine Corps. The M1911 is a short-stroke recoil-operated weapon. The barrel is engaged with the breech block by means of two lugs on the breech block and the corresponding grooves on the breech block. Release is accomplished by lowering the barrel by means of a shackle hinged to the barrel and frame during recoil. The axis of the bolt carrier lever is also the lower axis of the shackle. At the front of the bolt carrier is the barrel removable sleeve, which holds the muzzle of the barrel. The recoil spring is located under the barrel. The trigger is of single action, single trigger type, with safety cocking. The trigger moves longitudinally in the frame of the gun. It is connected to the trigger guard by two symmetrical rods located on the sides of the magazine well in the grip of the pistol. As with all semi-automatic pistols, the M1911 pistol is fitted with a disconnecting device which prevents firing when the bolt is not fully closed. The left side of the frame is fitted with a flag safety lever, bolt catch lever, and magazine catch. At the rear of the grip is the lever of the automatic grip safety, which locks the trigger guard and disengages only when the grip is engaged. The straight rear surface of the lower part of the grip is formed by the recoil spring. Flag safety locks the cocked trigger and the bolt carrier. The ejector is of the closed type, located inside the bolt carrier. Single-row box magazine holds 7 rounds. The M1911 was originally blued, but later other types of coatings were used. Commercial versions of the pistol, sold on the civilian market under the name government model, could be decorated with engraving. The grip cheeks, which had a 108-degree angle, were made of walnut wood. They were covered with crossed diamond-shaped notches and had flat diamond-shaped surfaces called diamonds, where they were fastened with screws. Model 1911 Colts were also used in Tsarist Russia by the police and gendarme corps. During World War I, the M1911 was popular with the officer corps. M1911s were sold for Russia through the United Kingdom. Initial production of this weapon was carried out at Colt factories, but soon Remington UMC, Springfield Armory, and North American Arms Company joined the ranks. During World War I, M1911 pistols were supplied to the armies of Great Britain, Russia, and France, and then used by the U.S. Army, which entered the war shortly before its end. As a result, extensive experience with the weapon was gained, revealing its advantages and disadvantages. The M1911 had a high stopping power of the bullet, which was maintained at long ranges, reliable operation, and safe handling. The pistol had the same length of travel and low trigger pull for each shot, as well as the shape and angle of the grip, which provided a comfortable hold, tight grip, and good control of the weapon when firing. But there were also disadvantages: large size and weight. However, they did not prevent the M1911 from becoming one of the most popular and widespread pistols in the USA. Colts were purchased by Russia during World War I and supplied by Lend-Lease during World War II, but their widespread use in the Army was hampered by the lack of .45 ACP ammunition. Nowadays, Russia produces such cartridges, and the old M1911 is used by some special forces because of its high stopping power and effectiveness against both armored and unarmored enemies. The M1911 design became a classic and was copied throughout the 20th century with one improvement or another, continuing to be used in most modern pistols. The history of the M1911 includes one notable episode in its combat career. On the morning of October 8, 1918, soldiers of the U.S. Army's 82nd Division were pinned to the ground by German machine gun fire. 17 men under the command of Sergeant Bernard Early were ordered to flank the machine gunners. They soon encountered a German officer and several breakfasting soldiers. The Germans surrendered, thinking they were surrounded. However, the Americans immediately came under machine gun fire. 8 American soldiers survived, but Sergeant Early was killed. Corporal Alvin York took command. As the surviving soldiers escorted the prisoners under enemy fire, York located a German machine gun about 30 yards away. In addition to his Enfield M1917 rifle, he also carried an M1911 semi-automatic pistol. German gunners would occasionally stick their heads out to aim their fire without hitting their soldiers. Taking advantage of this, Alvin York fired at them with his rifle. One shot equaled 1 German killed. York was from the mountainous region of Tennessee, where the inhabitants hunted for food, and was an excellent shot, accustomed not to waste ammunition. Unnoticed by York, several Germans advanced toward his position. Counting their shots, they calculated when it would take him a few seconds to reload his rifle. But York used his pistol and killed the 6 Germans attacking at short range. He continued to shoot and fight his way back to his own, killing a total of 25 German soldiers. For his famous feat in the Argonne Forest, Alvin York was promoted to the rank of sergeant and awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell so you don't miss new exciting videos. See you in the next video, where we will continue to reveal the secrets of the gun world. See you soon.